Kitco Mining special coverage of Xplor 2024 is brought to you by Radisson Mining Resources.
Welcome back to Kitco Mining's ongoing coverage of Xplor 2024 in Montreal. Joining me now is Kiran Patankar, CEO and President of Maple Gold Mines. Kiran, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Ernest. Nice to meet you.
So as we've been seeing, a very positive environment this year. We've been seeing, obviously, gold has taken off in a big way, silver more recently. And there's always this delayed response from the industry, and it filters down through various levels. So I wanted to get a sense of where we're at in the cycle. So obviously, right now, we see the majors are flush with cash, and we're beginning to see some movement on that front. So what do you believe is the rationale for investing in the gold juniors at this stage in the market?
I think it's a great time to invest in the juniors. We know that the industry is cyclical. Certainly, I can see the interest on the investor side in companies, strong companies that have producing assets that are generating cash flow. So we've seen in a $2,700 in a record gold price environment, for example, that senior producers and mid-tier producers are getting a lot of interest from the investor side. And rightly so. I mean, we see companies that are generating record cash flow, quarter over quarter. And so free cash flow and return of capital is typically what the investors in this cycle have been interested in, which underscores their investments in producing companies. What we all recognize, though, especially in an industry like mining and particularly in gold, is that these are non-renewable resources. There needs to be an engine for growth because every ounce you take out of the ground has to be replaced. And in a key jurisdiction such as Quebec, it's great to be back here as always. We've got a big project here. Quebec is a destination for mining production, and when you look at the type of companies where there's been chronic underinvestment, for example, over the cycle in exploration assets and development assets that can fuel that next leg of growth for producing companies. I think this is the time where investors, before the juniors have really gone on a run, it's interesting how little capital there has been out there for junior companies in a robust gold environment. But nevertheless, there are quality projects with quality management teams, positive attributes in terms of their development pathway, and certainly the ones that have the best, the best location, the best infrastructure, the best structure and partnerships are the ones that should probably get the initial interest, right, and be better in the long term.
Right. So then, what are some of the competitive advantages of Maple Gold? How are you positioning yourself in this environment?
Yeah, it's simple for Maple, right? And it's simple for most investors looking at junior companies. For us, our competitive advantage vis-a-vis our peers, it really comes down to favorable geology. We're in a known gold camp in the Abitibi gold belt, which is prolific. There's 200 million ounces of gold that's been produced in the region. There's certainly advantages not only with the geology. I'm a geological engineer by training, so I've spent a lot of time doing asset level due diligence. We've got an amazing team at Maple. We have an amazing partnership with Agnico Eagle, which is, again, when you look at juniors and you look at do their properties and projects have the scale to attract the interest of majors, we've done that with Agnico, both originally as a joint venture partner, but now as a strategic investor. And again, location matters, right? If you're drilling a project that's remote, it's got to hit a high bar for success because, infrastructure development, for example, to support that kind of a build out, it's going to be more expensive. Whereas, in our case with Maple, we're located right off of a major highway in the heart of Quebec. And, I think the opportunity, of course, to see this project advance, creating jobs and economic benefits and social benefits for the community, that's always the way we're approaching it with this partnership that we have with Agnico. It's the best in class operator. But I think for us and investors looking at us, the other aspect of our geology location is that we've got an established mineral resource, which is over 3 million ounces right now. And it's really just scratching the surface because it sits on the top 350 meters. So there's expansion potential along strike, at depth as well, and across the entire land package. Again, one of the other things that we have is a past producing mine complex, which has high-grade gold that Agnico contributed to our joint venture, and now we own 100% of. So again, just to recap, our advantage is we've got 100% control of a district-scale land package, which has an established resource of 3 million ounces, a past-producing high-grade gold mine complex, infrastructure, and a partnership with arguably one of the best gold mining companies and mining companies in the world.
Okay, and then you've been CEO for about a year now. What has the team been working on internally to capitalize on this and to set this? Because people were seeing this coming. You know, the gold price was going up, and this part of the cycle was visible about a year ago. We're not necessarily exactly where we want to be, but what have you been working on during that time?
Yeah, so Maple under new leadership starting in August and really through November, about a year ago last year when I took the reins, it's undergone a major transformation. It needed that transformation. The project, all the positive attributes that I outlined earlier, they're always there. But I'm a big believer in the fact that good process doesn't guarantee results, but it leads to better results, right? And so, we've set the stage here. We've done a very smart transaction with our partner in Agnico Eagle to consolidate ownership, granting Agnico a back-end right, which is tied to achieving development milestones. So those are things like proving out economic ounces here is obviously a shared goal between us, Agnico, and our shareholders. We asked, as part of that, Agnico invested and became a 19.9% shareholder, increased their ownership stake in Maple Gold, and did so at a premium. And so we've got funding to execute drill programs upcoming as early as December of this year. But the major reset that we did outside of that's corporate, and I'm an investment banker as well, so this was a transaction-driven, setting the company up for success. A lot of the work on the team's part has been done taking a proper review of all the empirical data. We have a wealth of data on this property. It is 250,000 meters of drill core at Douay. It is a wealth of, geophysical, geochemical, like all the amounts of data that we have to layer to do proper vectoring, proper targeting, that actually moves the needle in terms of return on investment for every investment dollar that's going in the ground. That work has all been completed. And we didn't do it because we were anticipating a higher gold price. We did it because it was the right thing. It needed to be done to advance the project. We can't control the gold price. What we can control is how we organize and use our data to drive better results, right? And so what we had to do to get that done, I've served for the better part of a year as a general manager of Maple and Agnico's joint venture on the Douay and Joutel projects. Gave me a chance to really evaluate the team, the partnership, and the people. And the project itself, and figure out what's best for the company, what's best for the project, what's best for our partners. And so we've revamped the team. We've got a new leadership group at site. We've brought our costs down dramatically, both corporately and at site, which allows more money to go into the ground. And we're preparing for a very exciting drill program starting this winter, which is going to be proving up the concepts that we've outlined in terms of the geology and the work that's been done over the past year. Sort of shows us that we can do exploration that both shows discovery and expansion potential at our known resources, begins to test the potential of the Joutel gold mining trend, but importantly gives us better confidence in the 3 million ounce resources that we currently have, because I would like to pursue a dual track of doing both systematic exploration, but also doing project development, right, which leads us towards an economic mine plan at an established resource, which is significant, right? So that's the plan going forward.
Okay, and what are some milestones or goals that we could expect maybe towards the end of the year and into 2025?
Yeah, as I said, I think the expectation is we do, our drilling is largely seasonal because we are in glaciated terrain where, when that material is saturated, it's difficult to move heavy equipment. So we typically start drill programs in the winter when the ground freezes. We're anticipating hopefully a cold winter in Quebec, northern Quebec. So we're expecting drills to start turning in December. We'll be drilling straight through March. Again, it's an initial 7,500 to 10,000 meter program. So there's going to be news flow coming, I would expect, based on assay turnarounds and reasonable precedents for what we've seen based on the RFPs that we put out there, that we should be seeing results from that program starting to come back in early 2025 in January. We also have catalysts in terms of continuing to advance the team and augment and strengthen our management team and board. And again, the developments that we're looking forward to within the next 12 to 24 months, looking a little bit farther out, is we've started the work internally of doing an internal scoping study to look at the 3 million ounces that we currently have and what within that pit-constrained resource is economic. I would like to see that advance from scoping study to PEA, again, barring drilling success that changes the nature of this project, that's what we have on this project. A drill hole can change our understanding of how we're going to go about with a development strategy. But I think a PEA within the next 18 months is achievable. And the goal, of course, for us is to make sure that we've got an active dual track approach, that we're doing value enhancing exploration work to expand the known footprint of mineralization at Douay, to test regional targets, to show how this thing can grow from 3 to 5 million ounces, but also simultaneously show that we have a development path with the 3 million ounces that we already have. And there's a lot of catalysts with that over the next 12 to 24 months.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like this dual track strategy, we should probably be circling back with you maybe Q1 or Q2 at the latest to see where everything is at.
Yeah, I look forward to that, and thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
I'm Ernest Hoffman for Kitco Mining. Keep it here for more coverage from Xplor 2024 in Montreal.
Kitco Mining special coverage of Xplor 2024 is brought to you by Radisson Mining Resources.